न भूमिर्न तोयं न तेजो न वायुः न खं नेन्द्रियं वा न तेषां समूहः अनैकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्येकसिद्धः तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्।
तज्ज्ञानं प्रशमकरं यदिन्द्रियाणां तज्ज्ञेयं यदुपनिषत्सु निश्चितार्थं ते धन्याः भुवि परमार्थनिश्चितेहाः शेषास्तु भ्रमनिलये परिभ्रमन्ति आदौ विजित्य विषयान् मदमोहरागद्वेषादिशत्रुगणम् आहृत योगराज्याः ज्ञात्वा मतं समनुभूय परात्मविद्या सुखं वनगृहे विचरन्ति धन्याः त्यक्त्वा गृहे रतिम् अधोगतिहेतुभूताम् आत्मेच्छया उपनिषदर्थरसं पिबन्तः वीतस्पृहा विषयभोगपदे विरक्ताः धन्याश्चरन्ति विजनेषु विमुक्तसङ्गाः त्यक्त्वा ममाहम् इति बन्धकरे पदे द्वे मानावमानसदृशाः समदर्शिनश्च कर्तारम् अन्यम् अवगम्य तदर्पितानि कुर्वन्ति कर्म परिपाकफलानि धन्याः त्यक्त्वेषणात्रयम् अवेक्षितमोक्षमार्गाः भैक्षामृतेन परिकल्पितदेहयात्राः ज्योतिः परात् परतरं परमात्मसंज्ञं धन्या द्विजारहसि हृदि अवलोकयन्ति नासन्न सन्न सतसन्न महन्न चाणु न स्त्री पुमान् न नपुंसकम् एकबीजं यैर्ब्रह्म तत्समुपासितम् एकचित्तैः धन्या विरेजुः इतरे भवपाशबद्धाः अज्ञानपङ्कपरिमग्नमपेतसारं दुःखालयं मरणजन्मजरापसक्तं संसारबन्धनमनित्यमवेक्ष्य धन्याः ज्ञानासिना तदवशीर्य विनिश्चयन्ति शान्तैः अनन्यमतिभिः मधुरस्वभावैः एकत्वनिश्चितमतो मनोभिः अपेतमोहैः साकं वनेषु विचितात्मपदस्वरूपं शास्त्रेषु सम्यक् अनिशं विमर्शन्ति धन्याः. கேட்குறதாங்க? One of the most important thing in spiritual life is contact with saints, devotees, dispassionate people. If you cannot get such satsanga, it is better that you stay in solitude. Even sleep is better. As Narada said in Bhakti Sutra, Dussanga sarvataiva tyajyaha. Contact with worldly minded, those who have durvasanas, negative vasanas, those who are too much extroverted, can pull our mind down, make it more materialistic. So such contacts are always dangerous, and even for those who have attained the highest, they will also always want for, at least we call mumukshus, those who are longing for liberation, such souls. Otherwise they have no work to do. The only work is to show way to such people. They are not interested in spiritual life. A sage has no work to do. As there is a shloka that a devotee tells, his family people were all advising him perhaps that you should be more clever in the world, you should earn money, you should work, many things. So then that devotee said, Arthakama parayuyam Narayana paravayam. You are all behind money and desire fulfillment, pleasures. And we are going behind Narayana, behind Bhagavan. Arthakama parayuyam Narayana paravayam tasmat. So hence, sarveshu kaleshu, always, yuyam yuyam vayam vayam. He said, you are you, we are we. We cannot go together. So, yesterday we saw Bhagavad Pada entering an area where there is cultural degradation, so much. So see, becoming an acharya is a punishment for a realized person, because he has to move with all kind of people. So many type of people come. Mostly or worldly people only. So, and being a worldly person, a family person is not bad, but terrible negative vasanas, all kind of uncultured activities. So that kind of group, they came around him and had an argument with him. So, see, Swami Vivekananda's life, epistles, the letters, if you read the letters that he wrote in the end of his life, he said, I will not see 40. He writes, he says, I won't come to this world even if Ramakrishna calls me again. I am fed up this world with all its false faces, laughing faces, and deceptive hearts. Many lines goes like that. He says, I don't want to come here. So, a kind of vairagya comes. That why give up something which is very divine for the sake of this world? You keep your mind in God and move about free, absolutely free, unconcerned. See, for a person who is desireless, spiritual life is very easy. Absolutely desireless, not even desiring spirituality also. With the desire for spiritual attainment, you give up the world. You give up that desire also, you are spiritual. No desire. All devotees tell Bhagavan that we don't have any desire. We will hold you, we will not leave you, but we don't have any other desire. Na nakaprishtam na cha parameshtyam na sarvabhaumam na rasadhipatyam na yoga siddhihi apunarbhavam va samanjasatva virahayakamshe. We don't want to go and stay in heaven. Not even the place of Brahma, Parameshti. We don't want to become the ruler of the world. or another world. We don't want to get any yoga siddhi also. We do not even seek cessation of rebirth. But we will not leave you. We will hold to you because you are all, you are everything. So that kind of bhakti. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan, as Bhagavan says in Gita, all the mental desires are given up and deep contentment in one's own being. Atmanyeva atmana tushtaha sthita prajnastadochyate. So this, such a life is blessed. If such a life is there, blessed is that life. Dhanya. So Bhagavad-pada wrote this Dhanyāshṭakam. Seeing this, he wrote this Dhanyāshṭakam. Tatjnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam tatnyeyam yadupanishatsu nishchitartham. Keep your senses. How should we use the senses? In Gita, Bhagavan says, without attachment and aversion, you have to use the senses. You have to see, you have to hear, you have to taste, you have to touch, you have to use all the senses. But raga dvesha viyuktaihi, without attachment and an aversion, in a moderate way, with a sattvic mind, use the senses. Then you will have prasannata, chitta prasadaha. So this way the senses won't disturb you. Then with the intellect, what should we do? Know the implied essence of Vedanta Shastra. Upanishatsu nishchitartham. That which the Upanishads are giving you, the teaching, Vedanta. And those who have found that knowledge, te dhanyaha, they are really blessed. In this world, they have found the essence. Paramartha nishchitehaha. Those who have not found that, they just roam about, wander about in ignorance. So, here Bhagavad-pada says step by step. Adau, first what should we do? Vijitya vishayan mada moha raga dvesha diga shatruganam. They are blessed who, after winning over the kingdom of yoga, by conquering enemies like pride, delusion, attachment and aversion, become aware of the truth, live with their consort. Who is the consort? Brahmavidya. And merrily move about in the forest, which is their home. No risk. A forest where you will not get any mobile range. There you move about. Jnatva matam samanubhuya paratma vidya kanta sukham banagrihe vicharanti dhanya. Tyaktva ratim adhogati hetu bhutam. Atmechaya upanishadartharasam pibantah. Those things which pulls you down, there are things like that, they have their own power which will pull you down. Adhogati hetu bhutam. Sometimes family, house, it's all good. Without attachment, with bhakti, you live in a family, that is good. But due to over attachment, sometimes what happens to our family, our house, it is, Bhagavata says, it is a well without water. Andhakupam, very blinding darkness, a well, you fall into it, no way to come out. But everyone will go and fall without anybody compelling us. No way out. So, tyaktva ratim adhogati hetu bhutam. It need not be like that, but why? We don't know why it becomes like that. We are only having love towards everybody, but it becomes attachment, it pulls us down. Janmantaragnam uchyate, many births, it hurts us. We carry all the impressions we absorb in our mind, and our inner life is affected by that. So it is adhogati hetu. It is cause for going down the drain. Ratim adhogati hetu bhutam. So give up that ruthlessly. Move away from anything that pulls you down. Not necessarily family or house or relatives or anything. Sometimes these things could be very helpful, harmless. But sometimes you stay in an ashram, it becomes like that. Anywhere. We cannot say where it will come. Sometimes, you stay in an ashram, some kind of attachment, aversion, gossip, jealousy. People go to ashram and they fight for position, power. Everywhere the problem can come. So adhogati, anything that pulls you down, move away from that. Adhogati hetu bhutam. Then what should I do? Nekanta, do atma vichara. Upanishad artharasam pibantaha. As a beginning, you take the Upanishads and read them. It's a joy, Upanishad, they contain Atmanubhuti. In my younger days, our village, there is a Shanti Durga Parameshwari. The temple is Durga, Divine Mother, and her name is Shanti Durga. In the Ananta Magaranda, Narayan sang that song 2 days back. Today? No. So Shanti Durga. So that name itself is Shanti. So there I used to sit about when I was 12, 13 and read Upanishad. Nobody will be there. And a young boy sitting there and reading Upanishad, what will people think? Constantly reading Upanishad and staying there. One of our villages came with some visitors. And I was reading and meditating, and the newcomer was wondering, who is this? So in action he asked, who is this? And the person who brought that person, he said, little loose. So that is good certificate. That is a good certificate. That's a good certificate. So, Tyaktva ratim adhogati hetu putam atmechaya upanishadartharasam pibantaha vitasprihaha. No attachment to anything. Vishaya bhoga pade viraktaha. Immense vairagya is the power. Dhanyaha, the blessed beings, charanti vijaneshu virakta sangaha, they move about absolutely free in solitary places, in solitude, in ekanta sthana, in vijaneshu, in places where there is no human habitation, nobody is there. Virakta sangaha, no attachment. Thus they move about. Generally in world we should have so many people around always talking. Then we will say, oh, happy, enjoy. But here Sankaracharya says a person who is alone in solitude, meditating on the self, completely fortified by dispassion, absolute discipline, such a life is blessed. He is really blessed. So this is Dhanyāshṭakam. So few verses we will see now and then. From there they moved to the next place. Yesterday we saw a Jain, Tantrika Jain. He came and wanted a debate with Sankaracharya. He said, you come with us. We will move about and we will see. When we have time, we will have discussion. So he also joined. Thus, that group started moving. And one day, a Charvaka came. They are the most funniest people. By name Barahaspatya came to Acharya. Charvaka means those who are agnostics or atheists. They don't believe in God or Vedas or anything. They say as long as you are alive, enjoy life. Eat, drink. Even if you have no money, take loan and eat well. Rinam kritva ghritam pibet. Yavat jivam sukham jivet. As long as you have strength, enjoy life. It's very musical to hear. So let us see what is the discussion. So he said, O Acharya Shankara, I have been observing you for several days. Your religion of Advaita will cause a lot of harm to people. As you are very kind-hearted and generous, people will listen to your words. Renouncing the comforts of the world and taking up sannyasa for the sake of moksha that you talk about is height of foolishness. Many people have this opinion. Sannyasa is the way of life meant for the blind, lame, and mentally challenged to live in this world so that they can take bhiksha. The only treasure we have is this body. We must nourish it so that we can enjoy all comforts and also help others in need. We must eat well and live happily even if it entails borrowing money. This is our philosophy. There is nothing called rebirth or heaven or hell. Happiness is heaven, sorrow is hell. What is perceived alone is truth. Acharya replied with smile, your words are pleasing and nice. Charu. That is why you are called Charvaka, man of sweet words. The materialistic philosophy you expound is nothing new that needs to be propagated or realized. You are expressing sensory knowledge which is natural and factual to everyone. That's all. Generally, everyone will say this. And just enjoy life. That's all. Is a philosophy needed for this? Now coming back to your theory, is it possible for you to keep the body comfortable always? For some time. When Corona came and people are all terrified. Everybody moving about like Jains. Birth, growth, change, disease, old age, death. Can any of these be prevented? Are you blind to the sufferings of those who regard the body alone as real? Moreover, the child or the aged cannot indulge in sensory pleasures. Even the pleasures that are available during youth vary from person to person. Even for those who enjoy these pleasures, the enjoyment will not remain permanently. Worse still, indulgence lead to disease. Bhoge roga bhayam, as Bhartrhari says. Now coming to the topic of wealth, it becomes a cause for pride, attachment, anxiety, envy, hatred and other innumerable calamities. So also with beauty and knowledge. You are healthy today. Suppose you fall terminally ill. Will you be able to bold enough to wax eloquent on atheism like this? There was one teacher in our school. He used to ask, when we used to go with all Bhasma to school, he used to ask, what is this God? Is it atom or molecule? Or something, then he will ask. We cannot say anything to our teacher. So he was a leader of a party in those days, political party, and used to very strongly speak at this. After about 10 or more than 10 years, and I have started a Satsanga journey. One day, I went to one vegetable market and somebody said Namaskar. I looked behind, I saw this teacher standing there with all marks in his head with bhasma. I also said Namaskar. Then he asked, where is Bhagavatam happening now? I want to listen. All those things he said. I simply said yes, yes. Then after that I inquired someone else. What happened to him? See, he was so much arguing with us. He was the leader of one agnostic group. What happened to him? Suddenly, first of all, he is my teacher. And with so much respect, because I am saying Bhagavatam, with so much respect standing there, then they said he had a calamity in his family. Some death occurred. He could not find peace by any other means. He had to seek this. Now he is back to his self. Again, listening to Bhagavatam, going to all Satsanga, everything. So, spirituality begins when either you should know that there is suffering or you should go through suffering. These two things. Certain people need not go through suffering. They have the discriminating power that they see that in the physical plane you are not safe. There is suffering. Shoka nivritti, atyantika shoka nivritti. So physically it is not, complete foundation is not possible. Mentally also. So every stage is good in its own place. So here, of course, we do not deny the physical bodily life. Enjoying physical comforts without causing misery to others and without harming one's own spiritual life will bring pleasantness to the mind. But even here, there are limitations. In Gita, Bhagavan says you can enjoy life. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharadarshapa. You can enjoy the pleasures which are not detrimental either to yourself or to others. So, but even here there are limitations. Saying this, Bhagavad Pada had some debate with him and ultimately told him that true fulfillment comes from the knowledge of the self. There is no other way. So thus, to that person Acharya gave this knowledge. In a man of discrimination, dispassion is bound to follow. Then he will intuitively feel something that is not of this world and is beyond the limitations of the body. This mysterious instinct is hidden in the heart of every man. It is indeed there in your heart as well. You are trying to cover it with the argument of agnosticism or atheism. So, do not ignore it. The experience of I is there very clearly in you. Have you ever investigated its nature? Even when the hands, legs or any organs are removed, the consciousness I is felt undiminished. This is a common experience for all. What is it that throbs within as aham? I. Which part of the body pulsates as I? What is it really? Search within with attention. You say, my body, anything that you own can never be you. For the very same reason, you are not the body. This awareness of I is something distinct from the body. You said sensory perception alone is truth. Is the consciousness of I felt by the senses? No, it is the ever experienced awareness of I that illumines all the senses. It can never be seen by the eyes, but it is the I that perceives everything through the eyes. Even in darkness, the I is experienced by the light of its own existence. Existence is the essence of I and is undeniable. The light of I is effulgent within. It is by that light the world is known. The I is not inert like the body. The I is light. Yushmad asmad pratyaya gocharayoho vishaya vishayinoho tamah prakashavad viruddha swabhavayoho. Sankaracharya says that I is light, everything else is darkness. It is self-effulgent, swayam prakasha. To know the I, the mind or the senses are not required. If the pot is removed, the lamp will shine forth brightly and freely, not as 5 different rays, but as one bright flame. You have keep a pot with 5 holes, keep a lamp inside. Through all the 5 holes, light will come out. Gadhadvanta grihantataha kshititale deepam nidhayojjwalam panchachidram adhomukam cha kalasham tasyopari sthapayet. Very beautiful sloka. You keep a candle and with a pot with 5 holes, cover the candle. Tad bahye paritonu randhram amalam veenam cha kasturikam sadratnam vyajanam nasecha kalashachidradhva nirgachatam. That 5 rays comes. Wherever those rays falls, in each ray, you keep one thing, one object. One veena, a musical instrument. Then one kasturi, a fragrant thing. Then a diamond. Then a hand fan. Then one amalaka, a gooseberry. So everything represents the taste bud, the listening, seeing, smelling, like that, all the senses. So each of the object is being shown by the ray of light falling on that. Here Bhagavad-pada asks, Tejomshena prithak prithak padartha nivahat jnanam hi yajjayate. Each object is separately seen. See, the eyes are showing only form, they don't hear. The ears are only listening, they don't see. We don't know what kind of niyama. The nose is only able to smell but cannot see. The skin is only able to feel touch, not able to hear. So each sense organ has its own boundary, and in that boundary it measures only that. Brahman is being measured as name, form, sound, touch, etc. Hence senses are called measuring cups. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkadaha. Matra miyante iti matraha. Tadradraihi kalashena va kimu mrudo bhandena tailena va kim sutrena nachaitadasti ruchiram pratyakshabhadadato deepajyotihi ihaikameva sharanam dehe tathatma sthitaha. One deepajyoti, one flame of light alone is the cause for recognition of the world. Like that, in this body is Atma Vastu, that Swarupa, the Chaitanya is shining forth as Aham Aham. The journey of one who regards the body as the self is a sad one, from the womb to the cremation ground. Only when one knows that the blissful self exists beyond the body and that it is possible to realize it, can life become meaningful. The Vedas are the only authority for anything beyond the phenomenal world. They are infallible as they are divine revelations. This Acharya gave the knowledge to that Barhaspatya, and to him he said, Kevalasya tarkasya vipralambagatvam. Logic that does not accept the higher authority, the divine authority, will certainly deceive you. Like a huge banyan hidden in its seed, all knowledge remains hidden in the great cause, in the self, Ishvara. His breath itself is knowledge. Yasya jnanamayam tapaha. Acharya's words had a massive impact on the Charvaka. Although he could not completely grasp the meaning, he began to visit Acharya daily and listen to his words. Gradually, he became a staunch devotee. So, after this, we enter the 44th Sopanam chapter. From Karnataka, Acharya re-entered Andhra. See, the travel is very long. See, Buddha traveled only in Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, some area. Mostly he traveled in Vaishali, Kausambi, Rajagriha, like that, those areas. The teaching only spread out everywhere. While Sankaracharya, right from this tip, Kanyakumari, Kaladi, Kerala, to Kashmir, everywhere he traveled. So, from Karnataka he entered again Andhra Pradesh, that Purva Chalukya place. Devotees had invited Acharya to Andhra while he was in Kanchi. From here Acharya reached a place called Mallapuram. Very interesting. I have wondered whether such things are possible. I will read it, then you will know what it is. A strange custom prevailed here. People worshipped and served dogs, the vehicle of god Mallari. They also dressed up as dogs and barked like them. See, when I wrote this about 12 years back, then itself I didn't believe that it is possible. Now we are hearing that. People are doing it. America is writing commentary to all these books. So many people are there. They say, I identify myself as a dog or cat or this, that. This is my freedom. You can identify with the whole universe, no problem. That is what Vedanta also says. But here, they identify themselves as dogs and they will behave like that. Seeing this absurd spectacle, Acharya wondered, oh, ridiculous. Give up this foolishness. The ego will be destroyed only by self-enquiry, Atma-vichara. Just as you superimpose a snake on a rope, and when you see the truth, the snake disappears. Like that, you have to see your real nature. The ignorance should be removed. And there they had some sessions, some teaching, and some kind of culture, propagation was done. And many kind of people came to see him. And all had interaction with the sage. From Mallapuram, Acharya walked towards Marunganagaram, where there is a famous temple of Vishwaksena. Very beautiful. The front view of the temple was incredibly beautiful. The king decided to construct a large guest house on the eastern side. The wish was fulfilled with the blessings of Acharya. There was a clear lake some distance away with several huge trees of mango, jackfruit, neem and pipal. The place was filled with the sweet melody of chirping birds and was cool and shady even in the heat of summer. There was a big hollow in the trunk of one of the huge pipal trees. It almost resembled a cave. If one sat inside it, nothing other than the placid, expansive lake could be seen. The other side of the lake was lush, green, and appeared like an uninhabited forest. As people lived nearby, there were no wild animals around. Seeing such a serene place, Acharya's heart filled with delight. There was deep dispassion on one side. See, all kind of practices, ignorance, and so much disturbing things were seen. He moved through cities, towns, where he should have seen more than what is written. So he felt, on one side he felt immense dispassion. The body was also a little tired. And when he saw this place, there was some inner call. Birds started chirping long before dawn as they instinctively feel the approaching light. Likewise, Acharya's heart had the intimation of a mysterious yogic trance approaching him. See, those who had that habit of samadhi, Swami Vivekananda, when in America, after this Chicago fame, he felt disgusted. Wherever he goes, it was great crowd. We might think that, oh, he became famous, he was happy. No, he was not happy. Wherever it was announced that he will talk, a big stadium will be full and overcrowded. He felt very unhappy. He said, this is not what I want. Then he went to one place called Thousand Islands Park with few students, about 12 or 13. There he stayed alone and taught them. And there, on the bank of that river, it was raining one day, he sat in absolute samadhi. And his disciples, they were holding the umbrella above him. Completely, the body was lost, almost in Jada Samadhi. Body was like Jada. After some hours, he woke up. So, even amidst all that crowd, that inner state which they have gained, it remains intact. So, Acharya, see, the line is very beautiful. Birds start chirping long before dawn, as they instinctively feel the approaching light. They have not seen the sun. Like that, Acharya's heart had the intimation of a mysterious yogic trance approaching. Acharya said, Padmapada, we wish to stay here in the Manonmani yoga, Manonmani state. Unmani means inward looking, the mind completely introverted, the inward stream flowing towards the heart. Please see that there is no disturbance for at least 11 days. Then Acharya went inside the hollow of the tree. All arrangements were made and sat on kusha grass. Within a short time, he was absorbed into the yogic state that transcended the mind. Chitsukacharya and Padmapadacharya very carefully guarded the body of Acharya, who was deeply immersed in samadhi. Acharya's eyes were half closed and the body was still like a picture or a statue. The hands were held in Chinmudra and breath was suspended completely. He remained in this yogic state like a flickerless flame in a windless spot for 11 days and nights. Acharya describes the state of Manonmani in Yogatārāvali as follows. Na drishtilakṣyāni na chittabandham, na deshakalo na ca vāyurodham, na dhārana dhyāna parishramo vam, samedhamane sati rajayoge. When one enters this samadhi of Rajayoga, time and space become irrelevant. And there is no more effort to fix the eye on the goal, to restrain the mind or to suspend the breath. There is no toiling for concentration and meditation. Aham mamatvadi apahaya sarvam Shri Raja Yoge sthiramanasānam na drashtrita nasti chadrishya bhavaha sa jrumbhade kevala samvideva. Those who have given up the notions of I and mine and have their minds firmly established in Sri Raja Yoga, transcend the ideas of the seer and the seen. In them, absolute consciousness alone blossoms forth. Netre yonmesha nimesha shunyem vayuryaya varjitare chapuraham manasya sankalpa vikalpa shunyam Manonmani sa mayi sannidhattam. Where the eyes remain half closed and still, where there is no flow of breath and the mind is devoid of any thought or image, let that Manonmani be invoked. Chitendriyanam chiranigrahena Shvasa prachare shamite yamindraha Nivata deepa iva nishalangaha Manonmani magnadhiyo bhavanti. As a result of restraining the mind and the senses over a long period of time with great reverence, the breath becomes peaceful, gentle and regular for those mystics. They become still like the lamp that glows in a windless space. Manonmani is this state of being in which the yogi is absolutely absorbed in the inner light. Unmanyavastadhigamaya vidvan upayamekam tava nirdishamaha pashyin udasinataya prapancham sankalpam unmulaya savadhanaha. O intelligent seeker, we shall tell you the way, a method to attain this Unmani state. Listen carefully. You develop the habit of observing the entire universe, your very life, with an indifference and detached attitude. Get rid of attachment and aversion. Don't allow anything to stay in your mind. And gradually, with utmost attention, root out the image-making character of the mind. See, we have to train the mind during waking state, during our interaction in the world, during our prarabdha period, not allowing anything to take possession of our mind, not allowing anything to stay inside due to attachment or aversion. Then only during meditation, that state is possible. Prasahya sankalpa paramparanam sambhedane santata savadhanam alambanashadapachiyamanam shanaihi shantimupaiti chetagha. The series of concepts must be removed one by one. The sankalpa parampara, one after the other, this power of the mind to gather wools, to make clouds of images. If you remove the thought forms that arise continuously by remaining attentively as a witness and dwell as pure consciousness, pure awareness itself, the mind will have nothing to rely on. Soon it will lose its foothold. The mind will now and then come and rest in the self. Slowly, in a gentle way, gradually make it permanently stay in the heart, in the real being, undistracted, undisturbed by thoughts. Do not initiate any thoughts. Atma samstam manah kritva na kinchitapi chintayet. Nishvasalopaihi nibhridaihi shariraihi netrambujaihi ardhanimilitaisya avirbhavantim amanaska mudram alokayamaha munipungavanam. Amanaska mudra, the sign of no mindness. When you see a yogi, you see the sign of no mindness in him. That is how many recognized Bhagavan. The flow of breath in the body becomes controlled. The lotus eyes of the yogi remain half closed. The dawn of this mudra, that transcends the mind, the beauty of it, the blossoming of it is seen in great sages. Alokayamaha. We see that Amanaska Mudram Munipungavanam, in great Muni, in great sages. Amiyamindraha Sahajamanaskad Aham Mamatve Shithilayamane Manotigam Marudavritti Shunyam Gachanti Bhavam Gaganavashesham. Such yogis remain in Manonmani, which is the state of Sahaja Nirvikalpa, very naturally, undisturbed, pure awareness, objectless awareness, with no sense of I and mine. A state there that is beyond the mind, with neither the flow of the breath nor thoughts, and which prevails as absolute Akasha, space alone. That pure Gaganavashesham. They reach a state where their inner being is an infinitude of Akasha. It looks like Akashavan Nirmala Nirvikalpam, immaculate, pure, like space. Akashavan Nirmala Nirvikalpam, Nissima, boundless. Nispandana, no throb, no vibration. Nispandana, Nirvikaram, no change. Antarbahishshunyam, neither inside nor outside. Ananyam, it is non-different, not the other, it is the very self. Advayam, the non-dual. Swayam Param Brahma, one's own real being itself is Brahma. Kimasti Bodhim, what else remains to be known? Nivartayantim Nikilendriyani Pravartayantim Paramatma Yogam Samvinmayim Tam Sahajamanaskam Kadagamishyami Gatanya Bhavaha. See, a spiritual aspirant will not be attracted to spiritual life by seeing a scholar. A spiritual aspirant will not be attracted to spiritual life by seeing an intellectual giant. No, it is not possible. Either they will come to spiritual life by seeing bhakti, the manifestation of bhakti samadhi, that bhava samadhi, or they will see that stillness blossoming inside a Raja Yogi, or they will see something like that no mind state. Just you see in the Amani Bhava, which was seen in Bhagavan. When they get a glimpse of that, their whole longing for spiritual attainment is awakened. They get the intimation that such a thing is possible. Intimation of the immortality, intimation of immortality. When they get a glimpse of it, oh, it is possible. Not by simply some academician. So, what does that stage do? Nivartayanti Nikilendriyani, all the senses are withdrawn. The power which spills out through the eyes to see the forms, it no more spills out. It is established inside. The eyes are open but vacant, no seeing. The ears are open, not hearing. The nose is open, nothing is smelt. Nothing, sense of touch is not there. No sankalpa, no vikalpa, no movement of eye thought, no will. Not sleep also. No sleep also. Such a radiant state, Paramatma Yogam, Pravartayanti Paramatma Yogam, Samvinmayim, pure consciousness, flow of that current, Amanaskam, the state of no mindness. When will I attain that? This is the longing of the seeker. Kadagamishyami, Gatanya Bhavaha, Pratyak Vimarshati Pumsam, Prachina Gandheshu Palayiteshu, Pradurbhavet Kachid Ajadya Nidram Prapancha Chintam Parivarjayanti. See, here Acharya gives the simile, it is like the sleep, a state like sleep. You will very much understand, because when sleep comes, the person becomes lazy, like that a divine laziness sets in. A kind of divine laziness comes to him, something which withdraws his mind from the world like the sleep. There, pratyak vimarshat shayena. How it happens? By constantly inquiring within, who am I, who am I, who am I? The mind is turned inward. That habit of tracing the I thought to the source, looking at the I within, the inner flow, the inflow of the mind, the habit of antarmukhata, that innering has happened. Then prachina gandheshu palayuteshu, all the obstacles of the old habit which pulls the mind outside, this extroversion, that prachina gandha, old smell, that negative smell, it's all gone. Pradurbhavet, then arises, then blooms something ajadya nidra, a sleep, but not a jadya nidra, no jada there, no tamoguna. It is a sleep with absolute pure consciousness. Nidra samadhi sthiti. That nidra is samadhi sthiti. That nidra is that Paramatma yoga, where there is no jadyada, no inertness, no materialism. So Sahajam amanaskam ajadya nidra prapancha chintam parivarjayanti. No prapancha chinta, no thought of the world. Vichinna sankalpa vikalpa mule. All this mind, imagination, memory, sleep, all these problems are removed. Nishesha nirmulita karma jale. Nothing to do. Sadashiva Brahmendra says, nothing to do, nothing to know, nothing to fear, nothing to attain, nothing to achieve, no desire. Chigirsha, jihasa, prepsa, jitnyasa, everything gone. So, nirantara abhyasa nitanta bhadra. Sometimes people will get such states in the presence of a Yogarudha. People will get such state in Bhagavan's presence. Even now you see, go to Ramanacharanatirtha, Bhagavan's Sannidhi, it contains that condensed samadhi state. So when you enter there, you are influenced for the time being you experience. You come out, gone. It will stay. By again and again with vairagya, you do practice. Train yourself to hold that state. Make it yours. Make it yours. So, nirantara abhyasa nitanta bhadra. By constant abhyasa, it becomes safe. It is no more lost. Sajrumbhate yogini yoga nidra. This is yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is not sleep. Yoga nidra is not simple stillness. There is pure awareness of the self within, and the body, mind is all quiet, still. In that state, that divine slumber, that samadhi slumber, that yogic slumber arises in the yogi. Vishranti masadhya, he finds absolute rest there. Vishranti masadhya, he has a good sofa there, a couch. What is that couch made of? Turiya. It is the couch of Turiya. Shivakare manje paramashiva paryanka nilayam bhajanditvam dhanyaha katichana chidananda laharim. As Saundra Lahari Bhagavad says, Divine Mother is lying down on a couch. And what is that couch? Shiva is the couch. Shivakare manje paramashiva paryanka nilayam. Paramashiva is the paryanka. Paramashiva paryanka nilayam bhajanditvam dhanyaha. The blessed ones, they only worship you like that. Means what? The mind is Shakti and the mind is resting in the fourth state, in the Turiya, the Turiya avastha. So Shivakare manje paramashiva paryanka nilayam bhajanditvam dhanyaha. Then what is that Shakti? Kadijana chidananda laharim. It is chidananda lahari. It is the blissful inundation of pure awareness. So, samvinmayim kamapi sarvakalam. Here Sankaracharya says, my dear friend, Sakhe, nidram sakhe nirvisha nirvikalpam. My dear friend, go to that sleep of nirvikalpa. That sleep where there is no vikalpa. That sleep where there is no obstacle of thoughts or sleep. No tamoguna. It looks like sleep, but it is the yoga nidra. Nidram sakhe nirvisha nirvikalpam. In such a state, Bhagavad-pada entered and was absorbed. Except for the main disciples, we should not forget the story part. Sankaracharya staying in that hole in the tree, absolutely in samadhi. The disciples were taking care of him, looking after his body. The disciples did not have permission to attend to Acharya's bodily needs or even to touch. So they only ensured that the body was not harmed by worms and insects. They understood that by divine will, Nirvikalpa Yoga had manifested in Acharya at that point of time. If such a Yoga Samadhi manifested in Acharya so easily by sheer will, how detached he must have been, like a lotus petal in water, in the interactions with the world during the Vijaya. All these activities. The Upanishads state that no amount of action will create even a single impression on one who abides in the self. Asangohyayam Purushaha. He is by nature detached, unattached. Just as water does not remain on a lotus leaf, such was the natural state of Acharya. The stipulated span of the divine current came to an end, and Acharya completed the Nirvikalpa Nidra. On the 11th day, the Yatishvara arose out of Samadhi by the strength of his former will. Purva Sankalpa. Because in the beginning itself the Sankalpa is given. So with that he woke up. All the fatigue of the tedious Digvijaya had vanished, and Acharya's face was aglow with the divine resplendence of Brahman. After taking the juice of the Bilva fruit and some wild grains as Bhiksha, Acharya returned to life among people. Again came down. From there, they had some Upadesha that we will see tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.